lots of joining today, I think. Right.
Yeah.
Hello everyone. चलो start करते हैं, ठीक है? So welcome to all of you. I am Vishal Bess. I am the founder of TRUNSKILL. Today we are starting our TRUNSKILL Live 3rd edition. TRUNSKILL is basically the hybrid e-learning platform. This is the AI-driven platform where we are providing the best online courses, coaches, and mentors on a single platform. Under the TRUNSKILL, we have started one initiative. It's the TRUNSKILL Live, where we are conducting live sessions each Friday, and we are inviting our mentors and our subject matter experts who are give some kind of learning insights on a particular topic. So today our guest is Divya. Welcome to Divya on TRUNSKILL Live. And today is our focus. Our topic is why focus. So guys, focus is very important in our daily lives. If you but all of we don't understand what is the exactly the importance of focus in our life. For example, if we are walking on a ground and in our hand one piece of paper and we are under the sunlight, then what happened? Nothing is happened, right? But if we give between sun and paper one focus lens, then what happened? Within 30 seconds, this paper is burning, right? So this is the importance of the focus mainly in our life. So today Divya is give us the insight about the focus. Divya has mainly for the IT industry, and right now she is the mentor in our TRUNSKILL as well as the life coach. She has very versatile and vast experience. So now we are starting today's session. So Divya, welcome to Divya. Now Divya, tell me something about yourself and a little bit about your journey, how you become a mentor. Then we will start our today's session.
All right. Awesome. So I am a life coach. I've been helping and serving people through 5 years of my life. I'm also working as a software engineer, but on the side, I have also founded Higher Than Us, which is my own platform through which I serve and help people. I provide freelance coaching, and I work with executives to, align their values, align their goals, and achieve them in the period of time that they have decided. So that is my overall work, and I absolutely love this work, and I'm slowly transitioning full time into this. So that's my introduction. And yes.
Okay. Very good, Divya. So, Divya, as today's our topic is focus. Why focus? So, can you please define what exactly is the focus is?
Right. So in every moment and every second, we are bombarded with 11 million bits per second of data through all the five senses, because these are the five senses with which we interact with our environment. So 11 million bits is not less, guys. So, and out of those 11 million bits, our attention or focus is only given to 60 bits per second. And that is the data that is really processed in our minds. Okay. And so what happens is all these 11 million bits which we are receiving from 11 in the five senses, it is filtered according to what is urgent, what is gaining our attention at that moment, and it also depends on what kind of programming that we have done for ourselves. For example, if I tell you an example of the term that we very often use in psychology, it's called novelty bias, which says if you have stimulation, if your mind is continuously looking for mental stimulation. That means, how many of you would have watched a movie while using Instagram? We have trained our mind to do things over things so that we get more, we get stimulated more in our minds. And that increases the dopamine, release in our mind, giving us a feeling that we are this is good, this is feeling good. And, we are excited and, loving this moment because we are doing so many things, but eventually, that goes down to nothing. So this term novelty bias is very highly used in psychology. So
Okay.
this is about focus.
Okay. Okay. So how to focus? The second
Right,
question is how to focus for anything.
right. So first, let me tell you where is our focus most of the time. 48% of the time we are living in the future, and 52% of the time we are living in the past. And maybe 1 or 2%, once or twice, we actually live in the now.
Right. Right.
Right? So we are constantly reassessing what we said before or what happened 5 years ago. A lot of you might relate to this. And if I tell you the trees in Goa, you would immediately go to Goa right now. Even though I'm saying I'm going to say something to you, you're not going to focus on what I'm going to say, but you are going to relive your own moment, or you might be planning your next trip. Isn't it?
Right.
So
Right.
that is how our brain is created, to constantly connect it to something that happened or that we want to happen. So now how to focus? There are a lot of things that it's not as simple to be stated in
Right.
one sentence. So let me
Okay.
give you one model which we use very frequently. So can you see this iPad?
Yeah. Yeah. This is a plain paper, right?
It's an iPad actually. So
Okay. Okay.
you can see.
iPad. iPad. Oh.
Yes. So I'm gonna give you guys a model, all of you. Pay attention. Okay, ma'am, मेरे पास अच्छा, okay. So, for example, this is called Yerke's Dotson model. Now, there's the curve that goes like this. Okay, this is performance, and this is the arousal. That is the mental arousal. So, as the arousal increases, the performance also increases up to some point, and then it goes down. Which means if I am stimulated enough in my mind, I have a peak performance right here.
Okay.
Which means if I'm feeling lazy, if I'm not excited enough, or if I'm lying down in my bed, just woke up from my sleep, then I'm gonna have very less performance around here. But as I go on, for example, if I have jumped a little, if I have exercised a little, it increases my arousal level to an optimal level. But there is something called too much arousal as well, mental arousal as well, which takes us down to anxiety. We don't want this.
Right.
That means if I'm too jumpy, if I'm too excited to go to a park tomorrow because after so long I've the lockdown is over, that will not let me focus on any one thing. If I'm too
Obviously.
jumpy, that's why sometimes, like my mom says this, I don't know how many of your mom says, don't become too excited. Like calm down, sit in the corner, relax, breathe. Don't become too excited because that actually has an effect on our minds. We stop we stop focusing on one thing. Our sense of decision making reduces
Obviously.
because at that time we are we are operating from the subconscious mind. Now let me tell you another term. There's something called neocortex, which is the frontal 5% of the brain, and there's another part which is the 95% of the brain, right? So when we are too excited or when we are too anxious, we are in a mode of fight, flight, or freeze. When we are in these three modes, we are not in a condition to decision making. We are letting our mind make decisions for us. So if you're anxious, if there's a snake in the room, you really can't focus. If we are anxious for some reason, now brain doesn't know the difference between a real snake and a snake in the mind, right? An anxiety problem or some kind of problem. So at that point you cannot focus. So in some way we have to bring down the mental arousal level to an optimal level where we can sit and actually do something productive by using the 60 bits that is allotted to our mind.
Obviously.
And how to do that exactly perfectly is to find that one thing that gets you to optimal arousal level. For me,
Okay.
it is meditation. For some people, it might be painting. For some people, it might be reading a book, whatever it is. So find your own thing that gets you to that optimal arousal level. Then start the actual thing that you had planned to do for the day that actually requires your focus.
Okay.
This is tried and tested thing. So all of you, please feel free to give feedback whenever you try this out. And so this is it. There's a story. Uh, Vishalji, shall I share? I'm going on speaking a lot. Is that all right?
Right. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
It's really quite interesting, and you are giving so insightful and so interesting thing. I think our user are really enjoying right now, and obviously after later also who see the video later stages. So please go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's fine.
All right. So there's a story. There was a international shooter. This woman was trained to be successful, was trained to be the champion, the number one champion. She was trained and coached by the number one people in the world, but still she
Okay.
was not able to win. The reason was she was not able to have that bull's eye, the focus that is required for it. But she was absolutely trained. She had all the skills. She would always shoot shoot the bull's eye in all the training sessions. But when the real thing came, when the real situation came, she was not able to, focus or do things because first her arousal level was too much. Her mental arousal was too much. Second, she couldn't really look at the bullseye and keep her focus there.
Right.
So eventually, through failing so many times, there was one time where while she was aiming at the bullseye, she saw a very beautiful leaf falling just beside the bullseye, and her focus immediately went to that, and she calmed down for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And as she did that, she still had that, what is it called? जो भी gun थी उनकी. So she still held the gun, and because she held the gun, her performance was at the optimal level. Her mental arousal was at the optimal level, but still she was calmed down enough to focus.
Okay.
And once she saw the leaf falling down, she calmed down. She immediately shifted her focus from the leaf to the bullseye, and she shot, and she won.
Okay. Great.
So that leaf, we have to find what is that leaf for each one of us.
Okay.
And that's how we focus.
And
reduce.
I think all of us, basically all individual has the different kind of this focus, right? Different
Yes.
things. Different. Okay.
Absolutely. So there are, yeah.
So Divya, can we any kind of framework for the focus, or can we adopt anything which means framework kind of things, any tool for the focus? Can we adopt anything?
Absolutely. This is the tool that I gave you.
Okay.
And find out at that point when you have to really do something, find out where is this, where in this chart, where are you lying? Where is your where is your mental stimulation level? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? If it's here, do the thing that is required to get you to this optimal level.
Optimal level, right.
Yes. And that's where you stop as well. Don't go beyond it.
So what is the name of this tool or this framework basically?
This is called Yerkes Dotson map.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see it correctly. Dotson. Yerkes Dotson.
Okay.
Yeah. This is one of the framework that we can actually use in our daily life to map. I actually have one. It's in my other room. I've mapped it, and whenever I need to focus and being an entrepreneur, being an IT professional, I need to really find out all the time that I could get in my day to find do the real work for those hours that I really have for myself. So we all need this. Just put it up on the wall and just map it whenever you need to do something. And if you see a difference where you are not lying, where you are not in the optimal level, do something that will get you there.
Okay.
right? And if you're too anxious, then probably sit for some time, for put your awareness on your choices, because a lot of times we are not choosing anything, the things are choosing us.
Okay.
And that is called atomus automaticity, sorry, automaticity of
Good.
choices.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So, Divya, before asking the next question, I am just see that here few person are requesting to join our meeting. So
sure.
I am just giving the details for this our program and structure. I think this is Sonal Srivastava. So Sonal, we have started our program structure is that initially first our guest is explain the topics and the particular day, and she will explain everything. And after the session, we will take questions for our all viewers. So we will definitely take you at the end of the question. So I think you will wait till the end of the session, and we will accept your invitations. Okay. And any other users also who wants to join our meeting, they can also send the invitation and ask the question to Divya. So now Divya, once again, my another question is how focus is changed for anyone's performance in the workplace or in the sports or in their studies. So how focus will be changed their performance means what is the effect if a person adopt the focus, then how the performance will be changed and what is the result should be changed after that.
Okay, awesome, great question. So everyday life, we have to balance between these two things. So uh, whatever you choose every hour of your day affects directly or indirectly how your reality shifts. So
Okay.
if I choose to focus at this hour at this video, this is going to serve so many people now and maybe later as well.
Obviously. Obviously.
And for example, if there's a student, if he focuses on studies, it's obvious that it's going to build his career, it's going to build his life. But it's not always necessary to, do complete focus. It's also necessary to broaden our perspective and, let those let your mind wander. Because, for example, if I tell you find all the colors that are, for example, red, so if you all everybody who's in the call, so maybe you can look around you and find all the things that are red in color. All right, and now probably close your eyes and tell me all the colors that are green in color. So in reality, you will not be able to tell me more than two or three things. It will be definitely less than how many things you remember that are red. It will be less than those things. The green will be less than red. Now, focus will always keep you on red. Now, from
Okay.
time to time, we have to find all the other colors as well. So,
Okay.
at times, probably when we are in the lecture, probably when we are sitting and we are reading something, we also have to look around. But be very mindful of how you're balancing these two things. So, find out all the things, look around you, and not literally, but look around in your environment, in your day, and find out the things that you want to focus on. So for that, you need a dispersed attention, a dispersed focus. You don't need a laser focus at that point. Once you find all the things, choose what will be my focus in the next hour, and then give complete focus to it. And the third part we almost always miss is how to stay focused. Not just focus at that point and 5-10 minutes, okay, mera ho gaya. How to stay focused is bringing more awareness. So notice when you are moving away. So probably, for example, the easiest example is reading a book. So while you're reading, you will miss two, three words, right? And then you will say, forget it, it's just two, three words. Then you will move to the next sentence. And then you will go in your own world, and then another two, three words you'll miss. Eventually, one whole page you will miss, and 4, 5 pages you will miss. then you'll say that the book was useless. So there's no point on in reading. So when you choose a book out of all the books that you have seen in the bookstore, when you choose a book, really focus, really read through it, really look at it, because that was your choice. So when you're choosing autonomously through your 5%, through your neocortex, really stick with it. That will train your mind to focus more, and that will improve your performance. That will improve the control that you have over your performance. So then
Okay.
you can choose whether I want to perform, whether I need to perform in this, in this competition or in this exam or in this area of my life or not. It all depends on what you want at that point. A lot of things you will have to leave, a lot of things you will have to focus. So first, let it disperse, find out things that you really want to focus on, then really focus on it, and then find a way to stick to it. Whenever you see yourself going around again, bring that focus back to it and start over again. So you know how we, जब बच्चा इधर उधर चला जाता है, you bring him back, you really make him sit, चलो अब खाओ, and then he'll again go in his own world, चिड़िया उड़ रही है, ये नूडल सांप है, कुछ तो हो रहा है, then bring him back. So this is how our mind works as well. So bring that mind back and start to focus all over again. This is how you train it. Of course, this is not going to be easy. I never said focus is an easy topic. But yes, it is simple, it is straightforward, and it's just need consistency. That's it.
Okay. Good. So, any tools for the students and for the working professionals? Any tools for the focus or any tips which they have adopt so they can get the focus? Any?
Right. So there are two, three things that I would really recommend. One is meditation. If you are absolutely a no-no for meditation, then just sit with yourself and probably plan something out, plan for your future, because that also requires focus, right? So really stick with your planning phase, decide what you need to do in the next 1 year. So goal setting is also something that supports your focus. So
Mm-hmm.
it is almost like meditation, but really not. But it brings some kind of control to your 5% of the mind, and that's what we need to use more of in order to focus. Because the 5% only decides whether what are we giving the 60 bits to. Remember, I said in the starting, a lot of you are joining now. So our mind is bombarded with 11 million bits per second of data every second. And out of those 11 million bits, we choose only 60 bits to actually focus.
Focus.
Right.
Right.
So decide.
Okay.
So meditation and planning.
So, Divya, next question is basically for the students who are looking for a job and who are mainly for the means this question is mainly for the all freshers. For
Okay.
they can be engineering graduate, they can be any kind of graduate, MBA graduates. In the fresher label, they what they can do to the focus for their interview, for their placement, and for the career, for the
Okay.
first job, because first job is very important for everyone.
True. True. One thing, a lot of us think that multitasking is amazing. We can do so many things, but it's false. It's not true at all. Do one thing at a time. You think that you can watch a TV as well as study. That's not possible.
Right.
And you are constantly struggling, you are constantly juggling those 60 bits of tiny frame into television or your phone and your studies. So really choose one thing to do at one point of time. You really need to reduce your novelty bias that I mentioned in the starting. Reduce your short term dopamine shot that your mind is giving to you. It's false. It's just short term. So let it go, really stick to one thing at a time. And if all the students, if all the the graduates that are looking for a job at this point of time, especially during corona, we need to align our mind to our center. We really need to focus on ourselves. So just calm down, it's gonna work out, but the anxiety level has to reduce. So in the model, the Yerkes model that I showed you, we have to constantly, bring our mental stimulation to this optimal level. Reduce it and bring it back to the optimal level, and really focus and use meditation if you can. That is one of the best tools for everything. When you meditate, when you are really focusing on yourself through meditation or through any mindfulness exercises, it's going to help you focus on yourself and focus on your studies or focus on anything that you really want to achieve. And there are a lot of insights that start coming up because a lot of things starts opening up and clearing up for you when you really focus, and things start shifting around you. The reality shifts. I cannot tell how many things are really gonna shift once people start meditating. So that's the
Okay.
number one tool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any other tools? Number two,
Any
number
other
three.
tool? Okay, I have a lot of tools. Hold on. I have a list. Let me open that list. Okay. There's a game called Lumosity that
Okay.
also increases our focus. And there's another game called Two Dots, which really
Okay.
makes us focus on the game. And it also gives us novelty bias, but it's all sort of helpful because it is also adding to the long-term gains through the game. Now, this game is specially designed to train our minds to, really focus on things or the task at work. So Lumosity and Two Dots, these are two of the games that are brilliant tools to really increase your focus level. And there are many applications that you can also use. For example, Keep and everything. So use reminders and calendars. So these are called structures. So there are
Mm-hmm.
structures which create the foundation of how you operate in your daily life. So when your
Okay.
foundation is strong, the rest of the things that fall into place. And
Mm-hmm.
the foundation creates all the tools and all the applications, all the family members, everything in your life that is supporting your growth. So
Mm-hmm.
find out your foundation. This is again one more tool. Structures. Find out all the structures that are supporting.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to share about the focus, Divya, or should we take questions from our users? If any users right now want to ask anything,
Absolutely. Let's take questions. That way
uh,
it'll be better.
so I think right now we have few peoples in our, just a sec. If anyone wants to ask questions to Divya, uh, they can just join us in this meeting. I think Sonal, I think Sonal Srivastava was trying to connect, but I think she's left the meeting. But anyway, so Divya,
Okay.
I think so. Anything else you want to share about the focus, Divya?
So before we end, I want to mention that attention are, divided into two parts. So
Mm-hmm.
first is outside the five senses that I also mentioned. And there
Mm-hmm.
is also internal stimulation that happens, that is past, present, and future.
Okay.
So for example, while sitting, you suddenly remember that, मैंने गैस पे दूध चढ़ाया था, for example. That is an internal trigger that is removing your focus from the current item. So we really have to find out all the things that may affect our attention span and fix it beforehand, before we really sit and we are trying to focus. So reduce external stimulations, for example the five senses. So if I reduce, for example, if I had to study, so this is for the students, so guys, really listen. uh, if I'm studying and all my five senses are on, I cannot turn it off, right? So in order to reduce the stimulation through the five senses, or if I really want to bring those 11 million bits to limited area, then probably face a wall. remove your phone. So reduce the kind of stimulation or reduce the kind of bombardment of data that you might get from outside. So that supports your mind to really focus. And from internal, we have to find out all the ways that are, that we might get disturbed while sitting or while reading the book. For example, somebody might ring the door, something might be on the or people might be coming in and going out. So anything that might, really trigger you from inside as well, that also affects our attention or the focus level that we have. So find out all the things that are, so everybody is different and everybody's stimulation, everybody's triggers will be different. So find out what are these and then really sit and focus and really put attention to something that you really want. And also don't forget the Yerkes Dotson model because it's a great tool. It's going to help you map across where you're missing out. For example, if you really want to study in the morning, you have to find a way to get up from the sleepiness and increase the mental stimulation so that you get to that optimal level that I showed you guys. So go to that level and then start studying. Don't just sit and say कि मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है. It will not happen. We have to get to that optimal level. And that's it
Definitely.
from my side.
So, Divya, I just check once again if anyone, I don't think so. Anyway, so Divya, we are winding up today's sessions, and thank you very much. Thanks for your time, and thanks once again to giving us so insight knowledge about the focus and so many new terminology and tools, so that we can use these tools and we can get focus and improve our productivity and get our results, right? So
Absolutely.
thank you once again, and thank you all of the viewers and also who will see this video later. So if you want to ask any questions from Divya, you just ask questions on the comment section here, and you can also join our Discord server and join our community for the learning for tomorrow. Okay, once again, thank
Okay.
you, Divya. Thanks.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye bye.
Thank you.